Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Lasham Daily Briefing for Wednesday, the 25th of February, 2026. Starting off with the synoptic picture, it's now midnight last night. A bit more high pressure seen out to the west, still driving a little bit more of that unsettled weather down towards us, but we've got a bit of a gap today. Low pressure out to the west and north, bringing with it quite a lot of frontal activity. By midday today, you can see we've got this low centred just off the Western Hebrides of Scotland there, and bringing with that quite an established cold front, reaching down actually from the north of Scotland there towards Africa. That will be passing probably overnight and decaying. If we look at the bottom end of it there, it's most likely to be weakening as it moves through. Not expecting any issues from that today. What we can see though is relatively slack isobars, clear air with nothing or no frontal features, and that should lead to a fairly nice day. In terms of days ahead, tomorrow, possibly a little bit of cloud with this warm front approaching. And Friday, a cold front here bringing rain and wind as well as some low cloud. But into the weekend, still low pressure dominating, but high pressure ridging in from the south, and that should lead to quite a pleasant Saturday. Looking at today again, the sat pic here, some low-level clouds, some sort of thinnish cloud down in the south of England here. We're seeing that at the moment outside the window, and that is fairly low, maybe 200 or 300 feet. That isn't expected to remain by probably about midday or before midday, 11:30. That should have gone. Rain radar, nothing of significance. Bit up to the north there, with that front leading towards the centre of the lobe, but nothing to affect us. And looking at the Methodist rain prediction, just running that model through quickly, showing very much the same. With the west coast starting to get hit with a bit of rain by about 4 or 5 o'clock, much of that dissipating as it transits through Wales. The Taff at Odium showing 180 degrees, 8 knots, visibility greater than 10 kilometers with few clouds at 600 feet. Between 9 and 11, we can expect 6,000 meter varies with mist, broken cloud at 800 feet. And there's a prop 30 as well, scattered at 600 feet during that time. Interestingly, their current observation is scattered at 300 feet. So that's only about 100 feet above Lasham, which concurs looking out the window. What it doesn't show is that it is expected to clear after that. So from about 11 o'clock, we're not expecting it to be a huge amount of low cloud anymore. Farnborough, they're showing light wind variable at 3 knots, 2,000 meter viz with mist broken at 100 feet, becoming between 9 and 11, 200 degrees, 10 knots, 10 k viz, no significant weather, and few clouds at 1,000 feet. So that's a little bit more in line with what we're expecting, sort of mid-morning, clearing certainly by the afternoon. Winds aloft to the south of us, 210 degrees, 15 knots, so that's sort of southwesterly there. And to the north, almost exactly the same, slightly stronger winds, so 20 to 30 knots. We can expect somewhere in the region, somewhere in between that locally for us. Surface wind, a little bit more southerly to it, locally to Lasham, so can see here by sort of midday, it's southwesterly across the airfield there. Strength-wise, not overly significant, only sort of 8 or 9 knots, gusting to a maximum of 15. You can see, interestingly here, the symbolic forecast on the map is showing no low cloud to begin whatsoever. Now, we know that's not true looking outside, so it'll be interesting to see at what point we do actually get clear skies. GFS giving us a maximum temperature today of around 15 degrees, which is very, very mild for this time of year, and a dew point of 10. Presently, we're up to 9.7 degrees with a dew point of 8.2. And once we start to get a bit more of a split there, we should see the low cloud begin to move away. So that was the view on the south side, looking west at about quarter past, or only about 10 minutes ago. Just refresh that now. You can see there's not been any great change, still very low cloud with gaps appearing. So that should hopefully have cleared before too long. The sky-set cross-section showing very much the same, a little bit of lower cloud to begin, but clearing by 10 o'clock with a nice clear afternoon. Not particularly soarable, unfortunately, but there may be an opportunity if anyone manages to be the right place, right time. And very briefly looking at the top metier here, cloud distribution. So 8 o'clock local, we can see the low level clouds here around our area. You just run that through, you can see it starting to break up and dissipate by late morning into lunchtime, leading to a very pleasant, clear afternoon before that frontal cloud comes in from the west or south. NOTAMs, just refresh that for us there. Based on the forecast, nothing of great significance. Quite a lot of airspace over here, so that may very well be a royal flight, but nothing locally to us given the forecast. So looking at the glider bookings, there's 3 21s on booked flying, 1 on the casual list, and a K13 for trial lessons should it be required. But limited single seat availability. Most of the fleet's booked up today, and there are 5 on the casual list with 1 instructor. No movements expected today. And in summary, there's low pressure to the northwest with an approaching cold front, low cloud to begin, but that's expected to clear mid-morning. That'll lead to clear skies and mild temperatures with a south-southwesterly flow across the airfield throughout the day. With that in mind, we'll be operating runway 23, launching off the hard with the cables on the east side, and there is our airfield set up. So air towing from the grass to the west, winch launching from the hard, and then landing reasonably into the field on runway 23. That's all for me this morning. We'll see you out there shortly. Let's make the most of the weather and keep it safe. Thank you.